Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's Cleverly Jones, and today we're here to discuss Twin Flames. Currently, this documentary is airing on Netflix. So, in episode one of Twin Flames, it opens up with Rhonda calling the authorities to do a welfare check for her sister, Stephanie. Stephanie is a member of Twin Flames. We cut to a scene where Stephanie's mother is talking about how her daughter changed when she joined Twin Flames. Twin Flames is a cult that promises people to find their true love. Jeff and Shalia run Twin Flames. So we cut to a scene where they introduce us to Keely. Keely talks about a guy named Kobe who she met at work. Initially, they had a good relationship, but Kobe broke the relationship off, saying that he wasn't ready to commit. Keely, though, she thinks Kobe would be her twin flame. So Keely starts to Google twin flames and she's introduced to Jeff and Shalia. Shanice was recently divorced and felt like she was just missing her true love. We also are introduced to another member named Arcelia. The guy that Arcelia wanted wasn't available, and the same goes for member Sarah. Now, so far, it appears that most of the members of the cult are bonded in loneliness. All of them haven't gotten over their prior relationships and seem to be fixated on their ex. Keely, she starts to invest in Twin Flames classes. They offer these classes to help people to find their true love. Now, these classes cost about $222 a month, so they're pretty costly. She could barely afford to pay for it, but she would do anything to find her true love. The course is guaranteed people to find their true love, and to me, that's impossible. Like, how can a course guarantee you to find true love? Like, don't pay for something like that, people. That's a course can't really guarantee you much of anything. It may guarantee you that you'll learn something, but it can't guarantee you what will happen after you learn that information. It can't guarantee you a job because you could be a horrible interviewer. It can't guarantee you something like true love because that's two people involved. So they can't guarantee you what that other person would do. They can't tell you that. So yeah, don't pay for things like that. We get introduced to Victoria, and she talks about how Twin Flames have members all around the world. Now, Twin Flames, they introduced a practice called mirror exercise. And these exercises were done to achieve harmonious love. And the exercise starts with, I am upset because of X, Y, and Z. And then the second part of the exercise is to say, I am upset because I am rejecting myself. So it's really, in my opinion, self-deprecating. You're really putting the blame on yourself as to why you're upset about something. And that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes people can cause you to be upset. It's really what you do, how you handle the moment, but you're allowed to be upset. So Stephanie mom and sister Rhonda, they speak about how Stephanie was interested in a guy who didn't feel the same way, and Stephanie fought, and Stephanie joined Twin Flames as a result of this. Then we're introduced to reporter Sarah Bierman. Sarah does studies on high control groups, and I found this interesting that she didn't call them a cult. So I looked up what would be the difference between a cult and high control groups. So high control groups are far more dangerous because they're more sensationalized. They don't engage in bizarre and outlandish activities, which would put most people off. So most people don't even know they're in a high control group until they're deeply embedded in the group. And that source was from WordPress. Sarah provides some interesting background on Jeff. Jeff was always into building a business and considers himself a lifestyle coach. Megan was actually Shalia, that's Shalia's real name, introduced Jeff into New Age religion. Jeff and Shalia, they moved to Michigan. Jeff has already a number of websites. So again, he's trying to build businesses and trying to find basically his niche. Jeff acts as a spiritual leader, and at one point he claims to cure cancer. So Keely, she's deeply embedded in the cult, and she introduced her sister Marley into Twin Flames. And it's like, I don't know how she even felt comfortable doing that initially. I know she thought she was helping her sister, but her sister was very young. She had just graduated out of high school. So someone graduating just out of high school they don't need to be focusing on finding their true love. So I thought that was kind of misguided. Marley was interested in the group because she liked Shalia. She liked Shalia's personality, how outgoing she was, how she wasn't afraid to speak. She said she had a great, loud, boisterous laugh. So she was just mesmerized by Shalia. So she was okay with joining the group. Kaylee reaches back out to Colby after Jeff and Shalia told her that Colby was her true flame. Keely shared the twin flame information with Colby, and after Colby read all the information, he embraced and adopted the twin flame lifestyle. Keely then moved to Massachusetts to be with Colby. And Jeff and Shalia encouraged Keely to share her relationship on Facebook. She was one of their success stories. So they wanted her to put as much information about her relationship out there so it would basically entice other members to join Twin Flame. Jeff and Shalia started a GoFundMe for Keely and Colby to help them get set up with their life. However, Jeff and Shalia were very specific on the things that Keely and Colby could buy. They couldn't do whatever they want with the money. They had to specifically buy the things that Jeff and Shalia told them to buy. Later, Jeff trained Keely as a coach, and he also trained Colby. Colby and Keely were paid $60 per coaching session, and Keely coached her sister and other members of the group. Now, again, Colby and Keely were basically the success stories. So Jeff and Shalia made sure they were at all the events. For their first meetup, Jeff and Shalia paid for Colby, Keely, and Marley to attend the event. Now, like with all cults, they preached for people to kind of cut off their family. They told them they have a new family, that the members of Twin Flames were their soul family. So they encouraged the other members to cut off their immediate family members. And Jeff convinced Stephanie that she was being abused. So Stephanie, she cuts all ties with her family. Now, Jeff and Shalia, they acted as though they had magical powers and could call up someone's twin flame and basically, guide your twin flame to you. So what they did for Marley was they called in her twin flame. And Keely supported this. She thought it was her duty, again, to help her sister find her twin flame. Now, they matched Marley with a random guy who messaged her on Facebook. Marley wasn't even interested in the guy, but she felt obligated to be with him because Jeff and Shalia told her that this was her twin flame. The guy was actually a criminal. They didn't look into his past or anything, but they matched him with this young girl. And he turns out he was a criminal and he was on probation. After 2 months of being together, Colby and Keely got married. They felt pressured by the community because, again, they are the success story. So they felt pressured to get married. Then we're introduced to Elle. Elle is a DJ, and she met a guy at Burning Man. She dated him. They had a good relationship. However, Elle got into a car accident. After the car accident, the guy broke up with her. So that was pretty crappy, but who knows what really happened. But that's what she said. He broke up with her after the car accident. This is at her lowest point. So at that point, she turned to twin flames. Jeff and Shalia told her that her ex was her twin flame, which is crazy because a guy who would leave you after a car accident, after you're trying to heal, someone like that who would leave you, that shouldn't be your twin flame. And her ex didn't feel that way. He filed a restraining order against Elle. But Jeff and Shalia told Elle to ignore the restraining order and to basically keep pursuing him, which is horrible, horrible advice. They also tell Shanice to keep pursuing her twin flame when she said, hey, the guy who I thought was my twin flame has moved on to another relationship. He actually has another baby. But Jeff and Shalia still tell her he doesn't know he's your twin flame. So you have to do things to entice him and let him know that he's your twin flame, which, again, horrible advice. Colby and Keely start to have problems. When Keely tries to address the problems on her one-on-one coaching sessions, she's made to feel horrible. They basically make fun of her and they berate her. So, she stops complaining, basically. Jeff and Shalia tell the members that them having sex every day should help, them entice their twin flame. As I stated earlier, Marley, she disliked her twin flame, Josh. He was a lot older than her. He didn't have a job. He had a criminal record. She had to go to him because he was on probation and couldn't leave the state. And Marley was very, very unhappy. Elle, the one who had the restraining order on her, was still contacting her ex. And while she still had the restraining order, she ended up going to a club to celebrate her birthday. He was there. He saw her there and called the cops on her. So Elle was arrested. Instead of calling like her parents for help or anybody for help, she didn't. What she did was she sat in jail and kept doing the mirror exercises. She felt she did something wrong because her ex was no longer attracted to her. So that's where episode 1 ends. Please stay tuned to episode 2. If you like this review, please rate, comment, and subscribe.